Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. Welcome to episode 27 of my Ruthless SSFRN Necropolis League. I have 100% been sleeping on Raider. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's an underrated ascendancy or anything like that, but if you're playing a melee skill and you've never had perma-phasing, let me tell you, go ahead and roll a Raider. I have never had such a comfortable melee experience. Now, granted, Molten Strike is pretty awesome and I have a wonderful axe, but just being able to run up to or run through enemies is amazing. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you near the end. So don't get me wrong, I love Inferno Blow, but I constantly had to switch back and forth between Earthquake and Inferno Blow, not because of map bosses or anything like that, but just because if I wanted to do some Guardians or anything like that. This character, I do not have that issue. It pretty much doesn't matter what the map rolls, Molten Strike is going to kill everything, and it is amazing at Blight. My god. It just kills absolutely everything. Half the time I don't even build a tower. I did get another tier rating, which is awesome. I got it from a random, which is pretty amazing. That's pretty much where I get all my ratings from, to be honest with you. Got another memory drop, which is awesome. Those usually give a lot of XP. And of course, I love the rings, but unfortunately, I'm still missing Herald of Ash and I'm missing Herald of Ice, which is pretty sad. I actually managed to kill the memory with Molten Strike, which is pretty awesome. And those implicits are disgusting. Please, it's trash. Okay, it's trash. But I mean, those implicits were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, just doing a bunch of maps. I'm doing a lot of layouts I don't like, just because this character is so fast. I figure I might as well just do them, farm them up. I can pretty much face tank almost everything, at least in terms of maps. Anyway, I'm not saying I can face tank like pinnacles or anything like that. But when it comes to maps, I can face tank pretty much everything. I got 2 effect corpses, which is pretty radical. That's pretty much everything I needed to try to go for a sword craft. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did hit level 85 by the way, which feels awesome. I'm a little scared to do this craft, just a little bit, because if it fails, it's gonna be a pretty devastating blow. You're gonna see the sword craft now, which I have to tell you, I was very stressed. I delayed as long as I could. Now, if you're wondering why I have speed as scarce, so I was gonna leave it so I could use the sword maybe for other builds if the next build sucks. But I was like, screw that. I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to make the sword exactly for this build. And let's see what we get. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah, it's a pretty good sword. It's pretty good. I mean, it was guaranteed that the mods are going to be like tier 2. But I was scared of hitting like a couple res mods or something. But luckily we didn't. Anyway, I am playing Blade Trap of Great Swords, which I am terrified to play this. This is really outside of my comfort zone. I don't like having a main skill that has a cooldown. I think that is going to be a very hard hurdle to overcome. But anyway, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to play Blade Trap with the Great Swords, do not use it in the campaign. Oh my god. I started using it at level 12. What an absolute nightmare. Yeah, it got a lot better. I think it's level 31. It was either 31 or 38. You got to use the advanced trap support. Oh my god, that support changes the entire character. So I do have to say, it's going to be almost impossible for me to really get any more cooldown reduction. So I think the only realistic play is to go for duration. Because the thing is, every trap has a 3.2-second cooldown. It starts at 5, but thankfully, being a Saboteur reduces that by quite a bit, and Advanced Traps helps with that a lot. But there are some big problems. One, we can't really use charged traps, so it's going to be hard to maintain charges. I know you're seeing them here, but that's because I have I have other stuff helping with that. I guess you could use charged trap if you really wanted to, but I feel like that's going to be such a waste. Because the trap throwing speed is basically a dead stat. Also, if you're wondering, attack speed does not help. It is an attack. I thought he was going to phase there. I didn't see him doing the arm, so I died like an idiot. But I'll tell you right now, it's an attack, not a spell, which is good and bad. It's really, really good because anytime you get just flat attack damage, like, like fire to your attacks or cold to your attacks and stuff like that, you will notice a difference. This thing does a lot of damage. Like, my god, let me tell you, like, sure, running through zones was kind of rough with the cooldown, but bosses were an absolute joke. It's like, oh, there's a boss, get him. Like, look at these swords, man. I mean, I'm not saying it's the craziest damage in the world, but yeah, we got through the campaign. We did it pretty quickly. 4 hours and 57 minutes with a skill that starts with a 5-second cooldown. It has been a very interesting ride. My first couple of maps were an absolute nightmare. I only had like 15 all res. Like, I think my highest res was cold and it was 40. So that was pretty terrifying, to be honest with you. But after I leveled up, because I did have some gear, but it was all like level 67, 68. After we got some levels, everything was feeling a lot better. I got a really nasty surprise when I realized the sword required level 70 and not 68. But it really wasn't a big deal, didn't take very long. And check this out, 8K, right? Obviously, it's paper DPS. 18. Oh my god. Yeah, this sword is disgusting. It does so much freaking damage. My crit chance isn't where it needs to be yet. I don't have a lot of crit nodes. I went for a lot of like not necessarily defense nodes, but I have like 5 points in resist I need to unspec because I had terrible gear. Anyway, I got my first temple, which funny enough hasn't had Ziri in it. And my god, I totally forgot what it's like to not have to worry about reflect. When you don't have to worry about reflect, at Ziri is such a joke. It's like not even a boss fight. It's more of just an animation waiting simulator. I'm gonna mess with my auras a little bit. I think the play is gonna be Arctic Armor because I can kind of use it to like slow enemies behind me, which will be kind of nice. Anyway, I did have a breach room. It wasn't tier 3, sadly, but funny enough, I actually got Chayula in it, which does not happen very often. It's obviously not the insane clear of Earthquake, but as I'm getting more duration, I can just feel how much more value I get out of every trap. Ideally, like I think if I get to 20% quality, I think it's going to be like 6 plus seconds. So basically every one, like the goal is to have it so every one trap when you throw it will last long enough for you to get 2 more charges. I think that'll be pretty nice. I'm not saying it's going to work out that way, but that's the goal. But yeah, the damage is damage is pretty good. And even the clear speed doesn't even feel that bad anymore now that I'm getting more and more cool, or not cooldown reduction, but duration. It's actually kind of nice. What you kind of do is you throw the trap, right? You just throw it out there, maybe, oh, blueprint. You throw out one or two or something like that, and then you just kind of like run around it or run straight through it. It kind of feels like you're playing like a legitimate trapper. Like you're literally like baiting enemies to your traps, and then they all die. It's kind of fun. I am debating whether or not I'm going to use Charge Trap for my main skill. What I'm experimenting with right now is Cluster Trap on Bear Trap. That way, when they trigger, they can get me Frenzy and Power Charges. And to be honest with you, so far that's working out pretty good. Or pretty well, I should say. I don't know, man. It's working out. That's all I know. I'm enjoying it. It's been a very interesting experience so far. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. I don't really like playing with a I don't like playing with a main skill that is a cooldown. Not that that's like a radical opinion to have. I think most people would feel that way. But now that I'm playing it more and more, like I was saying earlier, it feels like a genuine trapping character, and it's kind of fun. I actually had a Hydra show up in my Kirak, and I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. The Consecrated Ground is pretty annoying, but keep in mind that, we are using an attack and not a spell, so that Consecrated Ground does nothing. I cleared the entire map deathless, no issues, absolutely easy. And unfortunately, the Hydra heals way too much. So I went on Earthquake, and Earthquake doesn't give a shit about healing because Earthquake. Like, look at the damage. I mean, I'm not saying like it's like the craziest damage you're ever gonna see in your life, but this Earthquake character, he does not let me down. It's also nice that I don't use any gear from him, so he's always geared up. Anyway, I had a Conqueror, a Hesman inside my key rack, so I figured I might as well give it a try. I did kill the tier 15 boss, no issues. I did almost die once because there's power charges. But anyway, keep in mind, I'm level like 76. I have not done Uber Lab yet, and I managed to kill Hesman. I only died once, and that's because I ran out of mana, and instead of portaling out like an intelligent person to get flash charges, I kept running around waiting for the mana regen, and then I died. Anyway, after that, I went and did Uber Lab, which is definitely not as impressive as killing Hesman at level 76, but hey, we got it done. Unfortunately, so I did get a Divine Font use, so I had 3 uses, but unfortunately, only one of them was quality, which is really sad. Quality is going to be massive for this build. At first, I really was thinking, man, I wish that quality would make the cooldown reduction better, but honestly, I don't think so. I really think it's way better with duration because, like I was saying earlier, if you can get it to like 6 plus seconds, which already I'm like 5.87, I think it is, not exactly sure, but even with what it is right now, it almost lasts twice the duration of the cooldown, which is kind of sick, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not saying this is going to be like, at the point where you can map like Molten Strike. That is not going to happen. If you want to, hey, I actually need that map. If you want a character that can map like Molten Strike, don't play this because it's never going to be at that point. I did get another unique map, which is freaking radical. I'm only missing like 5 now or something like that, which is pretty awesome. Decided to do some bestiary crafts. I turned one of my amulets into a talisman. Got a really bad talisman, but I mean, like, whatever. It's got 47 rarity. I'll keep it. I mean, technically, it would be really nice on a chieftain, so I mean, that's cool. The courthouse map, which is funny enough, like more of a test for my characters than has been. I don't do the courthouse map kills like almost all of my characters, but this guy has no problem with it. Easy. Like I was saying before, I'm gonna keep mentioning this because I just love it so much. If you ever wanted to truly feel like a trapper, like you're actually laying traps and luring enemies to them, and like, I don't know, man, it just really has that trapper vibe. And I know it's kind of obvious because it's a literal trap skill, but it's kind of hard to explain. If you really enjoy traps, but like I was saying, you want that feeling of like you're actually laying a trap for enemies to come to, I really recommend this build. This is really fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. Hey, Regorb. I don't know what the best way to play this build is, but I really just wanted to make a crazy elemental sword because I'm never gonna be able to find one normally. Maybe in like 4 years or something. Oh my god. I actually, dude, why does this keep happening? Every time I roll the next character, I get the aura for the last character. Whatever, it's cool. We finally have Herald of Ash. I am not going to complain. All we're missing now is Herald of Ice, and I will be complete. Everything just gets obliterated by the swords. It's kind of funny now. Now what I do, because the duration is so long, I'll throw swords like as the boss, like before the boss fight starts. I'll throw like 3 or 4 of them, and then I'll walk up and throw 2 or 3 more. And there's like 7 of them, and they just get deleted. They're just gone. Anyway, hit level 80. We leveled up in a little less than 10 hours, which is definitely not the fastest time in the world, but I am pretty happy with it. I tried to do this Elder Guardian fight, but dude, it was way too fast for my other character. It was movement speed, temp chains, extra chaos. It was a bad time. But luckily Earthquake doesn't give a shit. It just kind of like hits the ground and then everybody dies. But of course, it dropped no loot because, why would it drop loot? It was only a juiced map. Anyway, I went and fought the Elder on Blade Trap. The fight was really easy, but I will say Shaper was like half HP because I couldn't really kill the portals fast enough because of my cooldown. So like at first everything would be fine, everything would die, and then it was like they spawned so many. Like once it was 4, like at the very end, I couldn't really kill them fast enough. I got an eye, but unfortunately it was trash. But hey, whatever. We got an eye. It's cool. It's like what my third eye this league or something like that. That is it's better than my average. Anyway, the plan right now, I'm just going to keep farming higher tier maps because honestly, all the bosses just die. I still think at this point, oh my god, that's actually a nice ring. That's actually a really nice ring. I still think at this point, my best bet is just to get duration. The cooldown reduction maps, I'm probably going to play Earthquake for because I ran one. I didn't die or anything, but my god, was it a long, long map because it makes my Blade Trap's cooldown almost 6 seconds, which is a nightmare. Oh my god. Uh, yeah, that's pretty good. That is my first specific craft corpse I have found this league, and it's an opal ring, which is like the best ring for this character. So, cool. Anyway, blights on this character are an absolute joke. Even if it's 2 ways, I will say though, if it's more than 3 ways, like if it's 4 or 5, I'm kind of screwed. Funny enough, I did find the twin corpse for this, so I can do an opal craft. Granted, I'm not gonna be able to do that until I get some tier rating, but I mean, maybe I can make a crazy opal ring. That would that would actually be kind of awesome. Trying to use my currency, but of course, all I ever do is just delete my money. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am level 80, 67% of the way to 81. Dude, this character feels amazing. My god, I don't even have a damage aura yet. I'm just using Grace, Precision. Well, Precision's a damage aura. Arctic Armor, Clarity, and Vitality at level 1 just to give me a little bit of boost. I think I'm going to drop Grace for Skitterbots because honestly, I don't think it's really that worth it with how low my evasion is. Let's see how much we get here. 7,000. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it doesn't even double it. I don't really think it's worth it right now. I mean, I might be being a little greedy. I should probably just keep my my evasion, but I'm probably not going to do that. Anyway, though, my next one on my tree, I'm just gonna come over here and get Hired Killer. The recovery doesn't work, but I just need more life. The character feels kind of awesome, to be honest with you. Like I've said several times now, I'm gonna say it again. It really feels like you're playing a legitimate trapping character, and it's kind of weirdly enjoyable. I might spec over here and grab this intelligence and go like this, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to bother doing that because the dexterity is helpful. I mean, it doesn't give a lot of accuracy, but it does give some, and it's not like I need more intelligence for anything. I will say I was going to go for like the trigger, but I don't think that actually makes the trap happen twice. I think it does something else, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't really matter though. I don't really think it's worth it, even if it does. I think the chance is too small. But I don't know. Maybe I'll mess with it. My gear is pretty awesome. The sword is disgusting. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. Like, obviously, you can get tier 1 for everything, but tier 2 is more than enough for me. That's all I could say. I don't even know how much DPS that is. I think it's like, it's got to be close to, if not 1,000 elemental damage. It's probably a little less than that because lightning is so volatile. My helmet needs to be upgraded. It's pretty basic, pretty trash. My amulet, I don't have any complaints. I mean, it doesn't give me damage because spell damage does nothing for me, but it's good enough. It's good enough for now. Got okay ring, another okay ring. I've got some nice gloves. Funny enough, the damage to attacks actually helps. I am rolling to try to get physical damage converted to lightning. I'm not sure if I should do lightning or fire, but anything is better than chaos, and anything is better than the physical. My belt, I think my next goal is to make a belt. This entire league, I made the stupid mistake of turning off essence, which I never do. And I have had awful jewelry like all league. My boots are okay, nothing too crazy. That's like my only source of life regen outside of my level 1 vitality, which is kind of rough. Anyway, I've got a decent amount of alchemy saved up. I'm still doing the chisel recipe to save up for those. I might do this grind to get this challenge done, but honestly, the main reason I'm doing it is just to juice up my tier 16s. In terms of key rack, I have a ridiculous amount of quests. Even though I've run a ton of them, I still got 11 total quests just chilling there. My Atlas is sitting at 110. We are missing 5 maps. That's it. I'm really hoping this character can be my Uber Elder killer. I think Earthquake can do it. I would just have to respec a lot of that character, which I really don't want to do. It's just a huge financial investment. But like the damage on this character, it's not the damage I'm worried about, and I'm kind of honestly, I'm not even super worried about surviving. This character is kind of defensive, to be honest with you. But the main thing I'm worried about is like it's a very mobile fight, and I don't know if that cooldown is going to be enough. So here's the thing: if I could solve resist completely, like if I didn't have to worry about it, look, it's not a huge difference, 3.2 to 3. It's not a huge difference, but over the course of a long fight, it really matters. And honestly, the LE damage isn't terrible either. Like like 22% LE damage, it's not bad. And I do need strength for this character, so it's not even a bad belt. The only issue is I don't have enough res, which is kind of scary. So like if I take that off, like I'm not capped. And as you can see, I need the strength. So I don't know. We'll see what we're gonna do. Anyway, I'm talking way too long. The plan is to just keep grinding some maps. I'm not going to push Guardians and stuff like that. I'm going to do some 11s to 13s and just farm XP because that's I can't get over how cool that looks. Because the main thing I need right now is just XP, honestly. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have no idea if I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll do my best.